Hello everyone, today let's jump into this two-player set. This is the Spark of Rebellion two-player starter set that you can get for Star Wars Unlimited. This is effectively two pre-made decks, Luke and Vader, and a load of tokens and stuff. So let's jump down to the table, crack the box open, and let's see what's inside. So let's crack open the box. And just know that it does have the deck lists on the back, as well as the components that we're about to see. So there doesn't seem to be a good way of doing this. Every single way seems to basically destroy this box. So let's jump just straight into it by going along the top. And finally there's the other, and look, I basically had to rip that apart, so we're not going to be keeping that box. So we've got these two little deck boxes, cardboard, relatively, they're not too bad actually. I thought that was going to be quite thin. Two little deck boxes where you're actually going to be able to store your Luke and your Vader decks, which are nicely wrapped up at the moment, so we'll go over those in a second. These are very thin. That is almost, well, I think that probably is, yeah, the same sort of thickness as that deck box. These are not going to be great tokens. They're definitely wanting you to upgrade. That's very, very sort of thin there. So I think they're going to not last too long, but they are the tokens that you need to play the game. The Quick Start rulebook, which is obviously going to be quite handy. Not too long either, and nice that it's got some the keyword stuff on the back. Let me just zoom in there so you can have a look. So you know, you've got all the good stuff, some examples in there, how you're using your leader, all that sort of goodness. So a nice little rule book. These are poster paper thickness, and if I just open one of these up, you'll be able to see what they actually are. And these are your player board, and I'm not going to be able to fit all of it on the screen at once, but nice that it's got setup stuff, it's got all the round structure, so actually quite a good bit of information there. Again, you got some reference keywords sort of stuff there, that's quite useful. And where you're actually playing stuff, so your base, your leader, and then ground and space, which I'm assuming would then be opposite on the Luke one. Again, you can hear it there. It's that sort of poster, not very thick poster paper for those. But let's be honest, this is what we're here for. The two different decks. Let's go for this one first, which is the Luke deck. And let's have a look at some of these cards. So that is the Luke Skywalker. So you've got your leader up there. You've got sort of the action, the epic action that sort of puts them into play. And they'll come out a little bit like this into play. A very sort of standard base to start us off, Cloud City. Yeah, so you know, it's got the 30 health, it's got one of these symbols that are helping you do some deck building if you're going to want to, but no ability. Some of them have abilities, but not the two that are in this starting set. So then you've got these experience cards. These are double-sided because you've also got shield on the other side. So I quite like the fact that these sort of come in this set. You're going to need these to play. Quite nice artwork on them. Would have been cool if they were different, but they are the same. And then you've got the actual deck of cards. So you've got this surgical droid, obviously. Alongside Luke is R2-D2, of which you've got a few different copies of in this. Now only one of them can be out at the same time, but you're allowed more than one copy in a deck. You've also got this Alliance X-Wing, again you've got 3 of those. You've got C-3PO, again you're not going to be playing multiple copies of him. at the same time, but you're allowed them in your deck. So when one gets destroyed, here's another C-3PO. C-3PO2. Rebel Pathfinder. And some, a nice restored ARC 170. Got a couple of those. Leia is turning up. That's quite... I'm actually quite liking the art style. Just from this flick through. So we've got a few layers. A rogue operative there. Fleet lieutenant, lieutenant, whatever you want to call it. Some wing leaders. One of the people that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy playing. Yoda, of course. With those symbols there. That's from like the deck building stuff. You've got your cost up in the top. Cloud City Wingguard, a bit of a step down from Yoda. A patrol craft. This Sentinel ability, this sounds pretty cool. So basically it stops people targeting your base for a minute. Got some forces, they're pretty boring. Ship. A nice general there. Looking at the plans that someone's picked up, so that's pretty cool. Snow Speeder, that's pretty nice. Chewbacca, so that's pretty cool. You've got to get him in the deck, although only one of them. Unlike C-3PO, who apparently is a bit more important. Obi-Wan, nice sort of from looking like he's about to go into his final fight, shall we say. Han Solo, well, you've got Chewie, you've kind of got to have Han Solo. Just a general card. Luke's lightsaber, which kind of works specifically with him, though you can 100%, from what I can understand, use these cards in another deck. Some repairs, and then we've got some of these events in the back here as well. So that's those. And one thing I should say, on the back of your base card, if you flip it over, it's actually got the deck list. So if you do shuffle them around, change things from one deck to another, well, you've actually got that information to come back to, which is that's quite a nice little touch that is included on these starter sets. Now the one that most people really care about, because you know the good side is boring. Let's jump over to the dark side. So you've got Darth Vader, and then when Darth Vader actually gets plopped in as a leader, you've got the Death Star, of course you do. And just like with Luke's deck, on the back of that base is that deck list. So he's got these experience and shield cards, so you've got a few of those on both sides. That's nice to have. It would be cool to, again, have seen these with different artwork for his deck, because this looks slightly less Vadery, but they're just sort of generic cards. Some TIE Fighters, some Death Stormtroopers, that's pretty cool. Admiral Ozzel, kind of recognise him. First Legion Stormtrooper, yeah, that's pretty cool. Admiral Motti. Oh, a few of them. Stormtrooper Lieutenant, however you want it. Some probe droids now, obviously, they're pretty awesome. Look at that. And a nice background of the snow there. Admiral, some technicians. Well, there was a few technicians on the Death Star, wasn't there? And a few cell block guards as well. General Veers, Moff Tarkin, three of them. Imperial Interceptor, look at that. Getting ready to pew something. An advanced TIE Fighter. Oh, here we go. We've got some AT-STs. Absolutely, probably one of my favourite things about Star Wars. The AT-ST. And, you know, they just look awesome. You've got Star Destroyer, the AT-AT. I mean, well, yeah. If as I like AT-STs, I'm going to like an AT-AT as well. Unlimited power. Emperor Palpatine. Very interesting that he's not a leader. I wonder, I think this almost would, a bit like with Yoda, maybe discount them from being a leader, because otherwise you could have a unit Emperor Palpatine as well as a leader Emperor Palpatine. So I'm assuming in future sets and even in the booster packs of this, that means that those people aren't going to be leaders. I'm sure they'll change their mind on that one, especially with Yoda and Palpatine. Just like with Luke's lightsaber, we've actually got Vader's saber in this one, and then we're starting to get, Force Choke, that's pretty cool. Nice little bit of artwork for that one. And then we're starting to get to some open fires. I am your father. Ooh. Dealing a lot of damage to an enemy unit there. And then some rest. So there you go. That is the this sort of broken into box of Spark of Rebellion. Things are definitely going to get put away into these little deck boxes. So yeah. That's everything you get in the 2-player starter set. There's some good things, some bad things. Cool rulebook, cool looking decks. These actually seem a little bit better than I anticipated. These are incredibly thin. These are very poor. And then, well, to be honest, these aren't that much better. So yeah, that's what you get in the box. So there you have it, that's what's inside the box. I'm going to be jumping in and playing this, as well as doing some unboxings of the packs, the booster packs that you can get. So stick around for that and enjoy the rest of your day.